Hello, greetings. Today, the moon continues in Libra and then goes into Scorpio, where we dive deeper, and we are heading toward the full moon on Monday. Monday's full moon will be in Scorpio. So we've got this deeper transformation process taking place, and what is shifting in the outer world is unfolding in the inner world for us to change in the ways we need to change to align with the changes that are happening in the world around us. Also, the moon, as it goes into Scorpio today, will oppose Mercury. Mercury is entering Taurus, both squaring Pluto. So let's break it down. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Saturday, May 10th. And before I dive in today, I just want to mention really quickly that I am so excited to be offering mini readings for Monday's Scorpio full moon. So if you'd like some quick insight, quick but not simple, right? Those deeper, profound insights you can get from your own chart and seeing how this full moon is activating your chart and your life and what is showing up for you, and getting that bigger picture perspective on what is unfolding for you and its deeper meaning. So check the description for this video for links and all the details about how to sign up for one of those mini readings. I record it for you and send it to you, so you've got it to keep and listen to as many times as you want. Anyway, so here we are today. The moon continues in Libra. We are focusing on relationships, partnerships, how we get along with others, how we cooperate, collaborate, have those experiences of seeing the world through another's eyes and working toward balance, right? Yesterday I was talking about what balance really looks like when we think about some of the ways we might compromise that are not about real balance, and moving into those deeper places of figuring out what is really best in the bigger picture. Sometimes that means bringing more of yourself to the table, taking up more space. Sometimes it means taking a step back and creating space for others, listening, right? So whatever balance is needed in your life, really reflecting on that, because as we head into Monday's full moon in Scorpio, and as the moon goes into Scorpio today, we are having this illumination. A full moon illuminates, it reveals something that we are perhaps ready to see. I guess it's going to be there whether we're ready to see it or not. So the more conscious and willing we are to engage with our own healing process, with our own awareness, self-awareness, and how we understand ourselves in the context of our own lives. The more we do that, the more the energy of this full moon can support you in healing, in transformation, in bringing shifts that are ultimately going to help you be happier, healthier, more functional, more able to be the person you need to be to attract the things you want to attract. And so this full moon is about diving deep into the unknown, into the unconscious. I'm talking about Monday's full moon, but we're starting to feel this energy. And especially as the moon will go into Scorpio today at, I believe it's 12:58 p.m. Pacific time. So it's in Libra earlier in the day, and then shifts into a deep dive into the Scorpio energies of mystery, of deeper feelings and things moving and shifting below the surface. So with the moon shifting into Scorpio, and the moon is of course getting bigger, right? Getting close to that full moon. So we're feeling these full moon energies, but we're also entering into the Scorpio moon vibe and this energy of transformation. And Monday's full moon is in Scorpio, opposite the sun in Taurus, and the sun joining up with Uranus in Taurus. And so we have that activated energy of shift and change. And what is shifting and changing in the outer world is requiring the shifts and changes in the inner world to take place. So, in order to be the person you need to be to align with what is really changing in the world, and always thinking about it from that perspective of how can you be part of the solution? How can you engage in your own healing process to participate in the bigger, wider healing of the world around you, and the ability to think in terms of innovation and creative ways of solving problems and moving through and letting go of some of the old ways that don't work for us anymore so that we can step into new possibilities and continue to create and co-create the kind of world we want to live in. So as things shift and change and feel unstable, uncertain in the world, in the outer world, right? The world around us, what we see in the news headlines, what we feel in the collective, we see this uncertainty of, and Uranus being in Taurus, and I've talked about this in past videos, is about how we experience the discomfort of things that we depend on needing to change. So there is a process of, as we experience the things that used to give comfort and stability to our lives changing or being disrupted or not working anymore. And then we need to think creatively about what are we going to put there in its place? How are we going to do this differently? How are we going to keep things moving forward to see what is new that we are creating or bringing in, or figuring out ways of doing things that will work better? Right? We can move toward a vision for the future. And of course, we always have that potential to fall into old habits and patterns or pitfalls of seeing things in the future in terms of our fears, what we're afraid will happen, what we're worried about or stressed out about. And when we focus on the worries and the stresses and the fears, it makes it harder to think creatively and to focus on how we can change things for the better, or where we might have power or leverage or ability to contribute to changes. And those changes in the outer world that you want might feel overwhelmingly big because you're just one small little person. But as I've said before, when you think about yourself as one little cell in a human body of trillions of cells, right? Our little cells that keep us all healthy in who we are. If you were one of those cells, it would make a big difference if you were healthy, right? so, so being one little tiny cell in the ginormity of the whole, it still matters that you are living up to your best self and being who you can be and doing what you can do and shifting your attitude where you need to step into the attitude of possibility instead of the attitude of fear and worry. So hope is a muscle, right, that we have to flex and practice. It's a practice, it's a habit. Get into that habit of thinking creatively about the future. Okay, so that brings us back to this Scorpio full moon, which is reminding us that who we are and what we are is changing, and we are going through our own internal process of healing, of releasing the past, of coming into awareness about things that have been unconscious, things we couldn't see before, coming into the light of day, into our consciousness, into our awareness, where we can see it, think about it, understand it better. And so but we have to, in this process of healing, of transformation, we have to allow these energies to move and shift inside of us in mysterious ways, going through this process. And so recognizing that you might have to move through some discomfort. You might have to feel some things that you're not accustomed to, or that bring up some painful memory from the past, or that help you tap into a part of yourself that maybe it's easier not to look at. But ultimately, when we do that, we can heal and transform and release the past, which allows us to be more creative and engaged, and our energy can be focused on the future and where we want to go rather than where we've been, or how we feel about things that have already gone down, right? So shifting your attention, your focus, and your energy to what you are creating, what you are investing in, what you want to build, and what you care about for the future. And you're doing that in your own life, just for yourself, right? And the things that matter to you, the things that are showing up in your daily life that are demanding your attention, or maybe you're sitting around and you're not sure what you should do, but it's that process of connecting with what is that way forward for you. And this Scorpio full moon that's coming up on Monday will be illuminating something about what is changing inside of you, how you are shifting, what is unfolding in your own deeper process, in your awareness, what is coming to the surface, what has been unconscious that is becoming conscious or beginning to be recognized. Those moments where you can say, oh, I really didn't see that before, or I haven't thought about it that way before, and getting this perspective that helps you to understand yourself and your patterns and your process at deeper levels. So this is all part of this bigger picture of self-care and self-care for the Scorpio moon. The Scorpio full moon really is about supporting yourself to move through these energies and what is unfolding and changing inside of you that you may not understand just yet. You may not have that perspective just yet, but it is saying to trust yourself, to trust what is moving inside of you, to trust the process that is unfolding, to show up for yourself and say, I believe in you to yourself, right? And I am here for you, right? Love yourself through what is changing. Know that it's not always understood, it's not always comfortable, but it's important. And it will become clear in the long run. So trust what is unfolding and moving and what you are learning about yourself. With that opposition to Uranus on Monday with the full moon, we've got this energy that is reminding us that the world is changing, and we've got to change to keep up with it. Not only because we want to keep up with what's changing, but also because we can use this energy as a powerful creative force if we are trusting ourselves and what our inner wisdom knows about that deeper process. So we've also got, as I mentioned, Mercury going into Taurus. Mercury is about communication and our thinking and ideas and our mental processes. So as Mercury goes from Aries, where we're fiery and thoughts are moving fast and communication is quick, it goes into Taurus where everything slows down. We're going to slow down our thinking. We need to be more methodical and understand things more solidly. So taking a little more time to process your thoughts, to figure out what you want to communicate and find the words to communicate that, giving yourself that slower process and getting more grounded and more clear and understanding what is changing and the ability to describe what is changing is more of a reflective process. With Mercury in Aries, it was direct, spontaneous, things moving quickly. Now with Taurus, we want to slow down, be more methodical, think things through, write them out, get clear about your thinking and your ideas, get clear about the words you want to use. And take that time if you're communicating in a relationship or with a friend or sharing ideas. Just take that time to really savor the words, to really find the right words, to enjoy the ideas. Taurus is about pleasure and the pleasure that things can have. So, the pleasure of exchanging ideas and sharing your thoughts and sharing information and listening and learning and receiving information is the other side of that coin as well. So, the moon will be activating as it opposes Mercury as the moon goes into Taurus just about 1 o'clock Pacific time on Saturday. Mercury will just be at 0 degrees. The moon goes into Scorpio and Mercury will just be at 0 degrees Taurus. So that opposition there really highlighting themes of communication and themes of how we work with these deeper energies and putting things into words. Also, both planets squaring Pluto at 3 degrees Aquarius. So we're activating this deeper Aquarian. Pluto is about transformation. It's the ruler of Scorpio. So authenticity, what we are learning about ourselves and how that helps us be more of who we are authentically in the world to contribute ultimately to making the world a better place in our own little corner of it by being a better self, a better version of who we are. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if you're interested in those mini readings, it is a 10 to 15 minute reading. You provide me your chart details. I look at the Scorpio full moon and where it is in your chart, how it is showing up for you personally, what is coming up, how to understand, right? Give you some insight into some of these deeper processes that might be showing up for yourself. I record that for you, I email it to you, and you've got it. So that is the mini reading I am doing for the Scorpio full moon. I've got times available on Sunday and Monday, maybe Tuesday as well. So check, find a slot. It doesn't really matter what time because it just blocks off time for me to be able to do the recording for you and send it to you. And then you will receive it and you can listen to it when it's convenient for you. So find a slot, pick a time. And if you are a paid member of my new member site, which I've been talking about, you get $10 off. So it's $45 for the mini reading. And if you have that membership, it's $35. The membership is $5 a month, so it's kind of a no-brainer. You'll pay less for the mini reading. So all the details will be in the description for this video. I'm super excited to bring you this offering and to be able to bring you some more personal deeper insights about this Scorpio full moon. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I'm Marina Orms. My website is astrologyheals.com, and all the details for that mini reading are in the description for this video. So just click where it says more below the video to expand the text, and all the links will be there. Thanks again for joining me and for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.